Well, this week is my first episode of the Maniac Monday thing that I'm starting, and my camera keeps unfocusing off me. We're good. Okay. Maniac Monday, the idea of it is to kind of like go over things that people are crazy about. I'm going to go over my own things. I may have guests later on, not today, but eventually. Other cosplay friends, things like that, and just, go over the things that we go crazy over as fanboys and girls when we go to a convention. My voice is a little scratchy because I did go to 2 conventions this weekend in one day. I went to New York WinterCon as well as DerpyCon with the Fans POV and Nikki Who Cosplay. It was really awesome. I was exhausted after WinterCon, and I think we all were, and we still went to DerpyCon after that. It was about a 45, that was more like about an hour drive, because we did go right through the city, which can add on a lot of traffic. Anyway, had an awesome time, met some of my close friends, as well as made some new friends. It was awesome, but getting to Maniac Monday, this is the first episode of Maniac Monday, and I'm going to start it with my favorite movie of all time, especially since recently a trailer was released that is within the series of the movies that, now, I'm only going over one of the movies within the series today. I do like them all in some way, shape, or form, but I think it's better if I go over each movie individually and not in a very small time frame, since each movie does, it does deserve its own spot, or its own time, rather. So this week, my favorite movie of all time, Jurassic Park. When it came out, I was 10 years old. Actually, when it came out, it was actually about a week before my birthday, so I was 9 when it actually was released. My aunt took me to go see that movie. She couldn't believe how I was not scared at any point. Apparently, she was getting scared, if I remember correctly. Loved that movie. I've always loved dinosaurs since I was a kid. I don't even remember why. Probably because of the show Dino Riders, which was awesome, and if you know that, you're awesome. Or rather know that show, you're awesome. But Jurassic Park was a phenomenal movie. I mean, if you were a kid in that time frame, every dinosaur movie that was released before that, regardless of Land Before Time, because that's an animated movie, but if you went to Blockbuster Video, throwback right there for you, or any video rental place, and you rented The Land Time Forgotten, or any of these old movies that they made, it was a lot of stop motion, guys in costumes, and it wasn't, and it was the old school way of what dinosaurs looked like. It was dinosaurs dragging their tail, being slow. Every dinosaur ate people, even the Apatosaurus, which at the time was referred to as a brontosaurus, wouldn't eat the person, but would bite the person, swing them around, and throw them away, and all the dinosaurs would kill people. And it was just, as you started to learn more and more about dinosaurs in that time, within the 80s and the early 90s, you began to realize, these movies are dumb. Jurassic Park, however, was the first movie to have tail in the air. Bird-like dinosaurs like the raptors. Yes, the raptors were inaccurate, however, they do resemble the Utah raptor, which was discovered in Utah during the production of the film, as well as the Deinonychus, which is another form of dromaeosaur, which look, they have the claw and everything, which are about the size of Jurassic Park raptors. So even though the Velociraptor in the movie is inaccurate, it's still a valid species when you look at the overall sense of the film. There are dinosaurs that look like the raptors, that are that size, that are that intelligent. So they just essentially gave the dinosaur a name of another, they gave that species of dinosaur a different name. The novel, which is also very good, and I'll probably do that as a separate thing since they are similar but very different at the same time. The Velociraptors, though, in the novel are the correct size. So, thinking about it, 3-foot dinosaurs, I probably wouldn't have been scared of. over. Yeah, they're terrifying. Yes, they're cunning. Yes, they've got these claws that, you know, can rip open your stomach. But making it somewhat human size is much scarier. It gives them the ability to open the doors in a completely different way than the way the novel goes. I mean, you know, when my cat, or rather not my cat, but when my cat attempts to do it, but he can't, but he understands how to. But my friend's cat can open doors. Looking at that little cat opening a door, it's adorable. So looking at a 3-foot, you know, raptor jumping up, grabbing the thing, and coming back down to open the door and go in, seeing this larger dinosaur, human size, is in, you know, about 6 feet tall. Not all people are 6 feet, but, you know, you get the idea. It's about as tall as a human, opening the door, pushing it open with its head, coming in. That has much more of a sense of, oh, this is going to kill me, and I can't hide. So the raptor almost took away the favorite dinosaur that I had since I was a kid, which was the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which that scene alone with the car, well, the Explorer being torn apart. I mean, you know, seeing a Tyrannosaurus Rex as a Tyrannosaurus Rex was amazing. And now this brings me up to a new point, Jurassic World. Granted, it's about 2 weeks after the trailer came out. I was thinking of doing this for a while, but I had a lot, you know, with the holiday and everything, so I am a bit behind. But the Jurassic World trailer, my reaction to it, fantastic. Those of you who do know me know that I have a very, very... Jurassic Park 3, to me... I'm going to leave that for a separate video. Just don't get me started on Jurassic Park 3. But Jurassic World, I think, is going to be phenomenal. Some things I do want to clear up on Jurassic World. If you've seen any of the production photos or anything, you know that the Velociraptors, though, yes, are following Chris Pratt's character in the trailer when he's riding on the motorcycle, and yes, it may look a little, quote, silly, but if you pay attention to the production of the movie and everything, if you are a hardcore fan as myself, you see that the Raptors do have this collar around their neck with a transmitter type of device. It's not confirmed what they do. A lot of people who are in the fandom believe it's a shock collar, because we do know that the Raptors are not going to be... we know at some point the Raptors are going to be how we remember them in the first movie, in the second movie. You know, and I'll even admit the third movie, these cunning animals that will hunt down and kill you. That is going to be something that does happen. So a lot of us are speculating that those collars are shock collars, and that's how, you know, you kind of train the animal. I don't think it's a bad idea. The park in the movie has been open for about 10 years. You go to any type of resort, they're going to have a lot of attractions. And then you go to a resort that's also technically a zoo. And even though it's a zoo with dinosaurs, you know, you go to some zoos and they have tiger shows, lion shows, bear shows. You know, there is training of animals in real life today. So I don't understand why it wouldn't make sense for them to try and train dinosaurs in Jurassic World. I think it's a good idea to start with the raptor. Actually, it's a terrible idea to start with the raptors, but I think I can follow a plot that the idea is to start with the raptors first because of how intelligent raptors are. It's kind of like, hey, we're taking the most intelligent thing here, and we're going to try and, you know, create a show around it. They may not be trying to create a show. They may just try to studying the behavior, because I know that Chris Pratt's character is a behavioral analyst, which is a good, which doesn't take away. The D-Rex, I think it's a great idea because it's still touching upon tampering with nature as the original films did. If you're opening the park, tampering with nature, the park being open for 10 years, it's not gonna work well unless you have, hey, we're gonna really tamper and try to make this hybrid. That makes a much more a better plot that still relates to the original film of how you shouldn't be messing with Mother Nature. It ties in with the plot elements of the Jurassic Park franchise, which I think is fantastic. So I think Jurassic World is going to be an amazing movie. Jurassic Park, I had a lot of the toys. In fact, one of the toys, my favorite, is T-Rex Turner. He was from Series 2 of the Jurassic Park toy line, and he is somebody I am working on a cosplay for that I am going to hopefully have done for Colossal Con, since Colossal Con is a week before the movie comes out. I'm going to debut it there. I'm going to do 2 renditions, the Jurassic Park action figure version and then a Jurassic World version with the animal control unit, which I'm going to release at a different con after the movie is released, so people kind of know. I am working on it. I will give information on my fan page, possibly my Twitter as well, even maybe in some how-to videos. But it is definitely something I'm working on. It was my favorite toy. He reminded me of Muldoon, who is in the first movie. Those of you who don't remember the name, he's the one that says "clever girl" and then dies by the raptor. He was my favorite character in the movie. Too bad he died. But overall, the movie brought a new sense of what dinosaurs were like. The acting was phenomenal, and at that time, special effects were still not fully computer generated. So, seeing something like most of the T-Rex scene with it tearing up the Explorer, most of that was an actual animatronic. Fantastic. A lot of the raptors were also animatronic. When you get a full sense of the body of the raptor, though, that's when it starts becoming a little bit more CGI. But the CGI was fantastic, and back then CGI was not a big thing yet. So adding all these elements together, it was phenomenal. It's also a movie that's aged well. There are some times where you can tell that's a CGI Brachiosaurus, but overall the movie has aged well. The acting isn't silly. The plot, now that we know that there is no way we can harvest blood from Amber and clone a dinosaur, the science isn't as sound as it was when it first came out. When it first came out, the science was actually thought of as being plausible. It wasn't until a few years later, I would say definitely by maybe right after the second movie, The Lost World, Jurassic Park came out. I believe it was a little bit after that movie came out that it was like, this is not something that can happen. However, with the Jurassic Park universe, it's science fiction. There's no need to change it. And just like part of Jurassic World, a lot of people going, hey, why don't the raptors have feathers? It's a sequel. It's the 4th installment of the series. We already know what the raptors look like. We know what the T-Rex looks like. We've seen them in all these other movies. There's no reason to all of a sudden change it. Yeah, genetics, they got better at doing it, and now you should have more. I mean, you could add that plot element into it, but overall, as fans of the movie, as people who've seen these movies, we understand what these dinosaurs look like, and we expect them to look a certain way. Adding a brand new dinosaur to the mix, that I can see. Like, we're going to add a Utah Raptor instead of the Velociraptor. The Utah Raptor has feathers. I'd be okay with that because the Utah Raptor technically has not been in the movie. So there's things like that I can, see happening and I'd be okay with. But as far as the dinosaurs that have already been at least introduced into the film, I think it's okay if they're not completely scientifically accurate. Not to mention, they technically haven't been scientifically accurate since the first movie. So there's no reason for them to be all of a sudden hardcore accurate, or for fans to get mad that they're not hardcore accurate. We understand more. It's been 22 years since the first movie. There's no reason for us to all of a sudden go, whoa, this should be all different. It's not a reboot, it's a 4th installment. It's a reboot in the sense that it's rebooting the franchise, but it's still a sequel. It's not a reboot like we're going to completely redo the movie like they do sometimes, like when they rebooted Freddy, or that's a different type of reboot than what this is. Jurassic Park, however, has always been my favorite movie. There's been no other movie that's been able to top it. There's movies that have come close in being really good and making, I loved Avengers, I've loved Pirates of the Caribbean, but Jurassic Park this movie will always hold a special place to my heart. There is the soundtrack, the music score is amazing. I have all 3 soundtracks, but I played almost every one of the games, the arcade games, the NES game, the SNES game. I've played so many of the games. I've read the novels, junior novelization as well as the actual novel written by Michael Crichton. And overall, Jurassic Park is my all-time favorite movie, and I am a maniac about it. When I see a toy on eBay, I want to get it. I want to purchase it because I want anything I could do with Jurassic Park, I wanted. And I'm glad that I'm finally getting far enough into cosplay where I'm confident enough to start making my own costumes, where I can make T-Rex Turner, since it's an action figure, and I'm basing this costume off of an action figure. So I'm going to leave everybody off with the fact that Jurassic Park is my all-time favorite movie. I won't agree with you if you think it's a movie that stunk, but overall, my favorite movie of all time. Definitely leave any questions, comments in below, or on my fan page. I'd be more than happy to answer them, as well as feature any of the questions in next week's Maniac Monday, which I think I'm not going to continue the Jurassic Park franchise yet. I think I want to continue with the upcoming trailers that have come this past, week and a half. There's 2 more that I would like to go over: Terminator, as well as Star Wars. Star Wars will probably be next week, because Star Wars came out about 2 or 3 days after Jurassic World, and then we'll go over the Terminator one. However, this is my favorite movie of all time, and I will do anything to see it. And when it was re-released in theaters in 3D, I ate that up. And I got to tell you, seeing it again on the big screen was absolutely amazing. And with the sound effects they have now, or rather the sound system in movie theaters now, it was absolutely amazing, and I hope you guys got to see it as well. So I bid you farewell, keep to the code, and can't wait to see you next Monday for the next Maniac Monday. Have a good one, everyone.